Hey guys, what's going on today? I got a video talking about AMD's new RX 470. With the recent release, a lot of people have been wondering how it performs and if it's a better value than the RX 480. People have been speculating that the price of this card would be in the $170 to $180 price range, which makes sense. It's slightly less powerful than the 480, so it should be a bit cheaper. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. Currently on Newegg, almost all of the 470s are going for $200 or more, which is equal to the RX 480's 4GB version. Some people are saying that it's a bit overpriced and that they really shouldn't be selling for this card. However, in my personal opinion, this is kind of exactly where they should be, because these are custom cards, like custom coolers, and you have to expect that they would be a bit more expensive. A custom RX 470 is about the same price as a reference 480, and surprisingly they almost have the exact same level of performance. This card is marketed as a 1080p card, really never expected to be a 1440p card. With that being in mind, I decided to do nothing but 1080p benchmarks, and I used some different games this time so we can get a little bit of different results. But with that all being said, let's get into good stuff and look at the benchmarks. For Assassin's Creed Unity on Ultra settings, we have 48.8 frames per second on the RX 470, and on the RX 480, we have 50.4 frames per second. So you're seeing a difference of about 1.6 FPS. Ashes of the Singularity with extreme settings, we're seeing 45.2 FPS on the 470, 45.9 FPS on the 480, difference of about 0.7 frames per second. Crysis 3 with very high settings, we see 68 frames per second on the RX 470, 68.8 on the 480, so a difference of 8 FPS, or 0.8 FPS, I'm sorry. The Division, we see 51.3 on the RX 470, 53.6 on the 480, so a difference of 2.3 FPS. Far Cry Primal on Ultra settings, we see 54.7 FPS, and 57.1 on the 480, leading a difference of 2.4 frames per second. Hitman Ultra, we're seeing 68.6 FPS on the 470. On the 480, we're looking at 71.4 FPS, with the biggest difference of all the games we tested, 2.8 FPS. Rise of the Tomb Raider on very high, we're looking at 64.1 FPS, compared to the 480's 65.4 FPS, difference of 1.3 FPS. The Witcher 3, we see 57.9 FPS compared to 60.5 FPS, a difference of 2.6. Now with all these benchmarks, they were taken at stock speeds, so if you do some light overclocking to the 470, you'll see that it can perform equal to or a bit higher than the 480 depending on what cooler you have. Given the price point of the RX 470, people are asking the question, is it better to get the lower end card with a better cooler, or to get the reference version of the more powerful RX 480? Personally, I would say go with the 480 because it is obviously the more powerful card and you will get better performance from the card. Also, with the reference design, you can get a custom water block which will allow you to water cool your GPU, which in turn you'd see significant performance increases. However, once these cards start to settle into their respective places in the market and the hype starts to die down, the prices will start to settle down as well. I would say that the RX 470 might be a better card for basic 1080p gaming. You see in the benchmarks, if you ignore the differences, they're actually pretty respectable FPSs on some of these games on very high settings, which is pretty phenomenal. The RX 470 is a great card, and the performance in 1080p is just undeniable. I really don't know what to say about this card because it is kind of a mindfuck to have a card that is priced the same as their flagship card right now, the RX 480. It's priced exactly the same, but you're seeing just a little bit less performance. It's really weird. It's not something that we're used to seeing. In previous generations, you would see like the 960 compared to the 970 on Nvidia's end. You would see just a world of performance difference between the two cards. So it's really weird to see that these two cards are competing pretty much neck and neck with each other, albeit the 480 using a reference cooler, so you're not getting the full experience of the RX 480. But even with that, I don't really know who this card is marketed for, because with the low price point of the RX 480, you're actually getting really great performance. I don't really see why the difference of maybe $20. I would just recommend saving up and getting the better 480. But I guess if you're on a super tight budget, the 470 would be good for you. It's really weird. It's obviously marketed at 1080p, so maybe, stick with 1080p if you want to try 1440. Maybe hop up with the 480. I really don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Currently, custom cards are going for $200, which is the same as the reference 480s. What do you guys prefer? Do you think the 470 is worth, paying $200 for a custom card, or would you rather get a reference 480? Which do you think you would buy? Let me know what you guys think, and if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video, subscribe for more videos like this, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.